Hey! Hey, everybody! Hey, everybody! Yeah! We'll stop the rain. Check out that big nest. Check out the big hawk nest or eagle nest. Hey, this is part 2, Hammonhasset Park, wintertime views, and look at all the snow. I love it with the snow and the ice, the marshes. So, hey, it's Damon. I'm here. Gotta turn the music off because, you know, we have to limit that. But this is the East Beach parking lot. I did the Middle Beach and I did the West Beach first. Hammonhasset State Park, Madison, Connecticut. It's like the best. It's about a 2-mile long marsh and beach on the water, on the Long Island Sound. It's awesome. Saltwater marsh and beach. It's super cool here. I'm here. Please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Please subscribe. If you're looking at any part of this on YouTube, please subscribe because I'm trying to get my channel up to like 5. My goal right now is 500. It's 240 right now. Getting more serious about it. Going to be posting more often. Sorry about the wipers. When the drops go in the windshield, the camera focuses more than the drops. But this is like we've had so much snow this year. When I saw fog last July, I knew it was going to be a lot of snow. But I love the snow with the salt marsh. It's really cool. But we've had 2 big storms. We had a lot of little storms, but then we had 2 big ones. One at the end of January. And then one about 2 weeks ago, I think, February 23rd. The one in January was Winter Storm Benjamin, and the other one was, I forget the name. Was it Gilbert? Gabe? I don't know what it was. Sorry, maybe somebody knows the name. The second storm name was in the Northeast. It was a nor'easter, full-on nor'easter. It was more like a hurricane. They got hit really hard out in Cape Cod. They had winds. They almost all lost power out there. So I'm just gonna go out here and continue driving out on the loop here in Hammonhasset. And I'm just taking my time here, and it's really cool here. All kinds of wildlife. The point of my channel, really, and please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. See, this is a little area where normally in the summer people can park right along here. There's enough parking for about 10 cars. Or sorry, no, it's right along here. The cutout is. It's enough parking for about 10 cars, so you can walk through there's a space to walk through the dunes there. But you can see the snow. But the point of this channel really is, I've been messing up the name of it, but it's how do we handle AI and this huge transition with AI. Not only will people lose jobs, but a lot of jobs will be created, and especially people that have a little bit of, drive and have a little bit of, that they don't want to be left behind. They don't want to. I mean, as more people lose their jobs, they're going to have to find ways to make money. And digital marketing and having digital products online and making money online is really the overall point of this channel. So if you're seeing this channel and you're interested in learning how to make money online, how to make money from home, how to have a remote business, how to have your own e-commerce remote business, I'm a business coach, and I've been involved with digital and the digital revolution really since 1996 when it kind of started. I've always been in the advertising marketing part of it. I was way back when in 1996, I did one of the first digital advertising buys or internet advertising buys in 1996. It was actually in conjunction with the Weather Channel. I'm a weather fanatic. I don't know if you can tell that, but I'm like a weather nut. I grew up on the water, a little further in towards New York City. Right now we're about 100 miles away from New York City, out here in Madison, Connecticut, about 30 miles east of New Haven. But I grew up in a town called New Rochelle, New York, about 18 miles from Broadway. There's a famous song, 18 miles from Broadway. But growing up there on the water with all the big storms and everything, it was always really exciting which big next storm we were going to have, what's going to happen. But here we are at the east East Beach parking lot at in Hammonhasset. And if you look down that driveway to the right of those trucks, that's where you can go out in the summer and everything. You can go out through there, and you can go out and you can there's a really nice wide part of the beach. There's actually a place where you can launch kayaks and everything out there, which I really never knew about until recently. But you would need to have a like a little hand cart or something to bring your kayak out there. It's probably, you'd have to like carry a kayak about the length of a football field. About a third of that is on a little driveway, and the other 2/3 would be on like sandy, pretty hard sand, but sandy area, maybe some little rocks, little smooth rocks, pebbles. So you'd want to have like, water shoes, and then like a little hand cart of some kind. But anyway, for anybody who's seen them in my videos, storm videos and walking videos, here I do a lot of walking videos here in Hammonhasset. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel, this channel. So this channel is I'm still working out the name. I've had a lot of, I'm gonna be changing the name around. If you see this, bear with me a little bit. I'm trying to get to the right name, because really it's about how everybody is handling the AI transition, how people are losing their jobs, how people can find new ways of making money online using digital, using AI actually in some cases. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? AI. It's scary, it's dangerous, it could take over the world, it could ruin the world. But now we need to use some of these AI tools, or we can use some of these AI tools to actually make money. We can make a lot of money. I know people in my business that are in my community online. I'm in a couple different online communities focused on making money online and digital products. And a lot of people are using AI tools to make money. I mean, I use an AI tool for editing right now. It's fantastic for editing videos. But anyway, my name is Damon. I'm here trying to help people along the path that I have been on. I'm trying to help people find a few shortcuts, because quite honestly, I've been on a kind of a long journey. I'm 62 years old, and this year marks one of the benchmarks for me, because at 62 years old in the United States, guess what? You can get your government pension. You can get your Social Security that you have paid into since you started working. Here in the United States, when you start working even if you're very young, you can get working papers. And when you start working legally, okay, if you're working for cash, like cutting grass or shoveling snow, and you're just getting paid cash, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to pay taxes on that. Nobody does. But when you start working like in a supermarket, or at like my first few jobs, one of them was working at a supermarket, like as a stock boy. When I was 16, I started working as a stock boy in 1980 in New Rochelle, New York, in this big supermarket called Shopwell. And it was inside the old New Rochelle Mall, like the ground floor. It was really sketchy. And our main job was, my buddy Ian brought me into it, and the main job was unloading the truck, the big tractor trailer trucks that would come in. And on Saturday, we had to unload the truck. So this guy hired, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 younger guys like me, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. Probably the oldest guys were like in their early 20s, and they were like our bosses. And on Saturday morning, we would get there early, and we would unload an 18-wheeler with all the canned products, all like the canned goods, everything that wasn't, like meat or vegetables or poultry. Everything canned and boxed, we were unloading that. Pet products, pet food, kitty litter, canned vegetables, everything in cans and boxes, cereal, and all that stuff. We were unloading a truck that was full of that stuff. And basically our main customers were the people that lived across the street there, next to the New Rochelle Mall, that lived in these apartment buildings. And some of them were nice apartment buildings, and some of them were a lot of little houses, 2-family houses, 3-family houses. And then a lot of them were the projects. There was the projects. There's the projects in New Rochelle, New York, believe it or not, to this day, that's on a hill. And those projects, which are, public assistance housing, those projects, like probably top 2 or 3 floors, have fantastic views of Long Island Sound, because they're on a hill overlooking Long Island Sound. And New Rochelle doesn't have, or didn't used to have, any high rises, except now since, the last 10 years, a lot of high-rises have been built right around the train station in New Rochelle, New York. And you know what, it kind of is scary to see that after growing up there, because, growing up there in the 70s, 80s, 90s, the tallest building was like 5 stories high. And you could see it. When we would go out sailing way out into Long Island Sound, and that was how we would get back. That was our landmark to get back. We didn't have compasses or GPSs. We were just on a sunfish out there sailing, sunfish sailboat, 14-foot surfboard with the sail basically on it. And to get back, we would look for the K building. It's a K building. It was the tallest building in New Rochelle, New York for many, many years. For maybe 80 years or something, was called the K building, because it had a big K on the top. I forget the name of the family that built it, but it was like a small office building in New Rochelle, New York, right in the downtown, right by the train station, right on top of the hill that you walk up to go to the train station. The train station there in that downtown area the post office is, where it's North Avenue, Huguenot Street intersection there. That's on top of a hill. And so anything built up there, it's on top of like total granite and rock. And it's great because anything up there like those, they have a bunch of rental buildings, Avalon buildings. Unfortunately, there's a Trump Tower up there too, which everybody, I think they took the name off it because everybody hates Trump so much. Like everyone hates this guy. I don't know who voted for him. I guess it was all the flyover states and the red people, but the dumb, toothless people that voted for him. But I know a few people that I'm really disappointed that they did vote for him too. I'm sorry, but I would never vote for him. In New York, he couldn't win an election to be a dog catcher because everyone knows him as a failed casino operator, and everyone knows what a dirtbag he is with the women and everything. That's all. Everyone in New York knows his whole thing. I mean, how do you fail running a casino? He's the only casino operator I've ever heard of that has failed at running casinos and going bankrupt. You know what they say about how he went bankrupt was that, he was so bankrupt, and then when he started getting money from all the banks because he was too big to fail or whatever bullshit it was, then he decided, okay, let me launder all this Russian money through my businesses, and that's supposedly what happened. But who knows? If no one knows, who knows? People know. And now with the Epstein files, I mean, come on. I digress, but come on. It's so obvious. The Department of so-called, I wouldn't call it the DOJ anymore. I would call it the Department of Trump's idea of justice. That's what I would call it. The Department of Trump's idea of justice, right? You say something, if you're a powerful person or you got a platform, you say something against him, like I have no followers, but someone who has 1 million followers, 2 million followers on here, an audience like that, you say something against him, guess what? He might open up an investigation. The next day there might be a Department of Trump Justice Department investigation of you. So this is the time, these are the times we live in. Believe it or not, United States of America, it's a little bit reminding me of, and I've been saying it for a long time, it's starting to sound cliche now, but it reminds me of 1930s Germany so much. It's such parallels. And the crazy thing is according to Trump's niece, he's had a book of Hitler speeches next to his bedside for many, many, many years. So make what you want of it. I hope that we can get through it. I'm a student of history. I have a degree in history, American history, and military history to be specific. My two areas are Civil War and American Revolution, and World War II, really Civil War and World War II, but American Revolution more so these days. In the town I grew up in, there's a Thomas Paine Cottage right there on North Avenue, New Rochelle. They gave Thomas Paine, who was the great, writer of common sense during the American Revolution. After the American Revolution, they gave him an appreciation. The government gave him a cottage that's in New Rochelle, New York, right there on North Avenue, right across from the New Rochelle High School. And so as a kid, we would go there and check it out and everything. It was really cool. But anyway, I digress. Sorry. But the American Revolution, 250th anniversary, guess what? It's right now, this year coming up. Very cool. But I like to do these kind of little historical and travel kind of videos, and then also work in talking about the how to make money online. And so that's kind of my two interests. My areas right now of interest are travel, history, and how to make money online. If you like those things, travel, history, how to make money online, and then also, nature and, learning how to survive as an older adult in the United States. Like, I'm 62. Like I said earlier, I just turned 62. And guess what that means? And you know what that means if you're here in the United States, because that means you got to make a decision about whether or not you're going to get your Social Security. Are you going to get your Social Security? Are you going to take your Social Security? That's the question mark that everybody in the U.S. who's turning 62, that's what we wrestle with. We wrestle with, look how beautiful this is. I love this. This marsh, saltwater marsh in the wintertime with the snow and everything. It's really pretty. So now I'm heading back. Oh, there's the third building. Wait, I'm going to see if you see it. It's kind of hard to see. It's the last big bathhouse, but you can see there's a big, long gangplank right there to it. But coming up, we're going to see the Nature Center. I'll show you the Nature Center. But everybody in the United States wrestles with this. This is the Nature Center on the right, coming into the Nature Center parking lot. But everybody in the United States who's here and working here all their lives, when you start working, I was saying earlier, when you first start working in any jobs, like my first job was working at a supermarket, Shopwell and Nourishell in New York in the mall. And when you first start working, whatever jobs, from that day on, every dollar when you work for a company is recorded. Every job is recorded with Social Security, and you pay into that Social Security and every job you have. And whenever you're working for a company and you're having money taken out by the company that's going in to pay your taxes and going in to pay your Social Security, that's the Nature Center right there. But all that money goes into a fund for you for your retirement. All that money is collected for you. That's the Nature Center here at Hammonhasset Park in Madison. Hammonhasset State Park is the greatest beach and nature center and everything here in Connecticut. And there's a huge campground. And if you want to get a campground spot here, it's March 5th right now. I'm sure you could still go on and get some, but I forget when they open it up. But like, these campgrounds are really ones in demand. This one is in huge demand. It packs up every summer. And I kind of hate that they put all these spots in for trailers, because I'm a tent man, my tent camper, and I don't like trailer camping. I'm not into it. Maybe as I get older I will, who knows. But the bottom line is, look, if you're 62, or let's say you're Gen Xer, like I'm the last year baby boom. Last year baby boom, 1964, right, is the last official year. That's my year. So myself and my friends, all born the same year. My friends are born in 1963. My friends are born in 1962, 62, 63, 64. Were the last few years of the baby boom generation in the U.S. People say boomers, oh, boomers. The next one is called Gen X. Gen X is everybody born from 1965 to 1980. And I'm sure there'll be people that will correct me. That's okay. I like getting more information. So if you want to make comments, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and please comment. I would love to hear what you guys think about this whole issue. AI, learning to make money from home. As you get older, like me, I'm 62 now, and I decided the best thing for me was to follow what all of my older siblings. I have 7 older siblings, and every single one of them has claimed their Social Security at 62. In other words, as soon as they could claim it. So, and there's a whole math thing, and I could do a video about the math someday when I get a really good whiteboard to work on. Maybe I'll do a video about the math of this, because when you do the math of Social Security and you figure it out, the actual math, the only thing you'll decide is that you need to take it at 62. I'm a proponent of taking it at 62, and I could show you the math, okay, versus waiting later. You can't. The other option is waiting. Just go along. You could go 5 more years till what they call the FRA, like Frank Royal Apple FRA. That's full retirement age, which is at now, for me and anybody younger than me and a few years ahead of me, was 67. It used to be 65. They pushed it back a couple of years to help save Social Security. It was one of the things they did. They're going to have to make more adjustments as soon as the orange monster is out of office, but they'll make the adjustments because the Republicans never do anything to help the average person. Republicans, and I challenge anyone who's watching to tell me a law that was passed that ever helped the average Americans in over time. Not something that was a law that was passed that was, helping certain people with taxes or something. I'm talking about a law that helped everybody, all average Americans. Not the wealthy, not the top, 2-3%. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about everybody else. Tell me laws that Republicans, when they were in control like they are now, of the entire government, House and whole of Congress, and President, when did they ever pass laws that help the average Americans? Like Social Security that everybody benefits from was passed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was one of our greatest presidents of all time. That's why they have a term limit now, because he was elected 4 times. He was elected the first time during the Depression, got us out of the Depression. Then guess what? He was reelected 3 more times. The last time during the height of World War II. And then he died in office. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was a Democrat, obviously. And he did all these things, like Social Security. Another great Democratic president, here we go. Of course, JFK. But JFK was killed. He didn't have time to implement all of his programs he wanted to do. Civil rights and all the other things. And so, the most unlikely man, if you knew him before he did this, before he became president and had to follow in the footsteps of JFK, Lyndon Johnson would never have been the president that you would think would pass all kinds of civil rights legislation and all kinds of things to help Americans. And he did. He did all that. He got it done. I think mainly because he was honoring the memory of JFK. Anyway, but then he got into Vietnam and he got messed up with Vietnam, and that's what messed him up. But anyway, then he didn't run for re-election. Then Nixon got elected, which was every presidential election is basically a swing from one extreme to another. That's just how it works here. I don't know. So, and the last guy just used fear, the same way the Nazis did, the brown shirts. He's used fear to get elected. He used fear. He uses fear. That's what he does. He uses people's fear. Right now, it's the fear of the brown man. That's what he did. The fear of the immigrant. Just like the Nazis did. That's very, very similar to what the Nazis did. So this is the Nature Center. It's a cool sign right there. You can see it, right? And now I'm going to try to go a little slower. No more history right now. Won't talk politics. But I love the marshlands, the cattails, all this stuff here. Anyway, guys, so basically, we're going to keep the little tour going. Let's see if I can get the wipers to just go not very often, but then we get too much rain. So it's going to have to play with that. Because I want you guys to see everything. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, because I really, really want to build up my subscribers, because it'll be better for everybody. Better for the channel, better for me. This is part of my online income journey, full disclosure, and I can teach you about this too, because I've been learning all about it. Because with YouTube, one of the things is, look at how beautiful it is. The marsh and the water, saltwater marsh, and all the cattails and the little pine trees. And during the summer, they have so many beautiful blooming things here. They have the beach plum. If you love nature and flowers, the beach plum that blooms in these hedges along here. And it's raining pretty hard right now. It's supposed to rain for like 2 days straight. And every night when it rains, it freezes up. So there's black ice like crazy, because it melts all the snow too. So the schools have been delayed a lot. But I'm kind of driving out of here now a little bit, but keep talking a little bit. But basically, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, because on YouTube, when you have a channel and you can build it up, to 500. Once you build up to 500 subscribers, I'm at 240 right now, March 5th, 2026. So please, or 241, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And the more you subscribe, the more I can bring you great content like this, touring around in Connecticut and the coastal Connecticut areas. And I'm going to be doing historical stuff around the American Revolution. I'm going to be doing a lot of that. I may start a separate channel for that. I'm not sure yet. But look at this view coming up right here. It's so spectacular of the marshland and across the water there where the ice is. So many little birds in here if you like birding, animals. There's so much nature. So many, we have bald eagles. We have red-tailed hawks. We have, just went through a big puddle of water there. Some more puddles. Anyway, my name's Damon. This is my channel. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get, right now to 500 is my first goal, then 1,000. So it's March 5th now. My goal is by the end of April to be at 500 or before. I would love to get to 500 by the end of April. Look at all that fog. It's caused by the snow, the warm water hitting the snow. There's all different kinds of fog. Maybe there's like 5 different kinds of fog or something. I should get like a weather book or something. But I love all this. This year I'm going to get a fishing license and a birding license. I think they're like $10 each. Anyway, in the state they did a really great thing a few years ago. Our great governor Lamont, he did a really great governor. He's running for re-election again this year. But one of the great things that he did was they made it past a law that it's just $10 on your registration, and then everybody with the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, and then everybody pays $10 on their registration, and then no one, the state parks are free admission. It's pretty cool. And now it's raining pretty hard. I'm gonna have to just keep going with the wiper. Oh, big puddle. Sorry. See the piles of snow? Anyway, so everybody in Connecticut, you go to any state park, because you just pay at your DMV once, on your registration, which is good for a few years. It's $10. And that way, everybody can go. But yeah, see they have the crossing places here? This is where you're going to be really careful. You got to look both sides, because there could be somebody running, coming with a bike. And I've seen all kinds of things, people almost getting run over. I saw one lady got hit. No one saw them coming. They were on a bike and they got slightly hit. It was terrible one day. And I saw a big hawk just the other day swoop down right here in this road. A big red-tailed hawk. I think it got like a squirrel, and it had like a squirrel or a rodent that it caught, and it was like tearing it apart. It was wild. I might have a video of that I could post. I don't know. So now this is Route 1 right here. Boston Post Road, which was laid out, believe it or not, by Benjamin Franklin. He was Postmaster General. He laid out this route between Boston and New York City. That's why it's called the Boston Post Road. And there used to be a marker out here. Anyway, I'm going to go now, everybody, but please subscribe. Please subscribe. You'll enjoy it. If you enjoy learning about how to make money online and having a remote business of your own that is yours totally, where you can work from anywhere in the world just with a phone, laptop, tablet, and you can keep all the money for yourself. And okay, you ready? And also check out the gas prices. Okay, check this out. You think Trump isn't making money off this? It's like $3.10 now for gas here. It was about $2.50 for gas a week ago. Think about how the billions and billions of dollars that all the oil companies are making off this Iran thing. They're making billions and billions because we don't get oil from there. But these guys will use it. The oil companies just use it as an excuse to raise the prices. They're not paying for higher costs on their end at all. They're just raking in profits from raising. Every time they raise the cost of a gallon by a penny, they're making billions. It's crazy. And remember, there was the meeting where Trump promised the oil executives that if they got him reelected, gave him $1 billion for his campaign, or millions of dollars because there's no limit now on how much money a politician can get for their campaigns, thanks to the Supreme Court, the great Supreme Court that we have, that, you know, there's no limit. There's no limit. So it's crazy. And he promised the oil executives that he would help them out. Oh, he's helping them out. Whoa. Attacking Iran? Oh, he's helping out the oil executives big time. Anybody who's got stock in that, they're making a fortune right now. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I have a lot to say about it. But if you like hearing about that kind of stuff, geopolitics, you like hearing about how to make money online, you like travel, you like history, just subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be doing a lot of those topics. And I'm going to be going live also every day, probably twice. I'm finally setting up the little studio I want to have. But anyway, stay tuned. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.